Welcome to Laundromat News Today. I'm your anchor, Jordan Berry, bringing you news from around the world in the laundromat industry. And I just want to tease this up front. We've got a huge announcement, breaking news in the laundromat industry that's going to affect all of us and impact us in big ways, either directly or indirectly. So make sure you stay tuned for that story. But we're going to kick off this episode of the news with a little bit more somber announcement here. Just got word that on February 15th, 2025, we lost one of our own. Finding Keenan from the popular YouTube channel, guest 120 on the podcast, has passed away. And, you know, if you've heard his episode, you know that Keenan was doing really cool things. He was very creative in his investments and he was very business minded. He documented a lot of that. Go check out his YouTube channel, Finding Keenan. And just really sad to hear that. Condolences go out to his family. And I thought we'd just take a moment here, right on the news, to just take a moment of silence in remembrance of Keenan and all he's done for our industry. Okay, Keenan, you will be missed, brother. Let's jump over to an article that outlined whether it's cheaper to do laundry at home or at the laundromat. And it will probably come as no surprise to you to find out that it's actually cheaper to do laundry at home than the laundromat, if you can afford the upfront costs to actually purchase washers and dryers and do all the setup that needs to come with that. That is the big caveat to cheaper doing it at home than at the laundromat. However, I do still think that less and less people will be doing their own laundry, at least at home, and more will be doing it or having you do it at the laundromat. So keep that trend going. I'll link to that article so you can see the actual numbers in our newsletter. So make sure you check that out. Hey, I got to highlight a pretty big robbery that happened at a laundromat where thieves got away with $10,000 in coins stolen straight out of the laundromat. Now, the big caveat here is that this happened in Canada. So I don't know the exact conversion, but I think maybe it's like $50 American, but still 10,000 in coins, even Canadian, big deal. Just kidding. Sorry, Canada. I love you guys, despite booing our national anthem in the hockey game. Okay. Listen, we've got an interesting topic that I think is going to become more and more relevant as we go forward in our business, and we're watching utility costs go up. A lot of our costs go up, but utilities specifically. And I just want to highlight Troy Laundromat that's out in New Hampshire, who just loaded their roof up with solar panels, trying to figure out ways to offset these electrical costs that we incur as laundromats. And I've had more and more conversations with people looking into water recycling and different alternatives to how to power dryers and dry clothes. So there's a lot of these conversations happening here, partially to be more green, but also partially to figure out ways to cut costs to run our laundromats. Big story out of Zambia. And this is a pretty wild story. There's a laundromat in Zambia, small little laundromat in Zambia. And actually, like a week ago, a leopard wandered into it and it actually lunged at somebody, but missed and landed directly in the washer. And pretty crazy, the washer somehow turned on, and it turned out that the leopard, after the load was done, came out spotless. Get it? Spotless. It came out spotless. Okay, that wasn't a real news story. That was my attempt at a joke for Patrick. That was right there for you. The leopard came out of the washing machine spotless. I hope you loved it, Patrick, because you are the only one that ever wants me to try to attempt humor, including my wife. Okay, actually, Finally, and I want to wrap this up with a huge announcement. PayRange has acquired Terns, the wash and fold and pick up and delivery software. And this merger is now one of a couple now that we have where hardware and software are getting together, and we're going to see more and more innovation and integration of these tools. And so this is huge news for owners. We should see more innovation happening, more tools, more resources, more data to be able to collect, and more control over our businesses. So this is huge news. And in fact, it's such big news that the very next episode, I believe 184, which is coming out Tuesday. Should check the date on that one. That's the 25th of February. I'm going to be interviewing. I'm going to release a podcast that I interviewed with Sukanth from Terns. He's going to talk about that merger and acquisition and the implications of that for the industry in general and for you specifically. So definitely going to want to see that episode on Tuesday, February 25th. And congrats to PayRange and Terns for coming to an agreement. And hey, we're all rooting for you to help push this industry and lead us to new heights. So congrats to you guys. And we will see you on Tuesday, February 25th, with that interview with Sukanth and hearing more about that merger. That is all. I'm Jordan from Laundromat News Today. We'll see you next week with news from around the world in the laundromat industry.